Hi, my name is Samiha, and these are the three main things I learned this semester in my Introduction to Media class. So, starting off with the method of learning conducted during this entire course, I got to learn more about learning through nature, emotions, and the world around us, which apparently comes from indigenous practice, and they take a more holistic approach to learning. We talked a lot about how not everyone is cut from the same cloth, so not everyone will learn the same way using the traditional method. Learning from nature and emotions allows you to be more connected back to your roots, but also the roots of the world we live in. We can all relate to the world around us that we share together. So it's really important to stay grounded to our surroundings, to the earth, as well as staying true and aware to our emotions to avoid a life of living in autopilot. Another lesson I learned from this course is the whole idea of perspective. We talked a lot about how my perspective is not the same as, for example, my neighbor, and the difference in perspective oftentimes leads to many ongoing conflicts. We learned that it's really important to sometimes take a step back from your perspective and see the situation from a different angle. We all grew up with different exposures to different things. So the media that we consume may be the same content, but how we each perceive that content varies from person to person. Media comes in many formats and it has been around for thousands of years. For example, we discussed about how Egyptian hieroglyphics and how that's a huge example of how people first recorded civilization. But going back to the idea of perspective, we talked about how society is very quick to judge based on the perspective they know, and it can be really important to see it from a different angle and read between the lines, like the Polyester Bride music video and how we watched it a second time with a different perspective, and you noticed a lot of hidden messages and details than before. Which leads to my final learning point of being more open-minded. We often are so quick to judge what we see and know and hold that to be the truth, but it can be really important to look at a situation from every angle. For example, we talked about the issue of climate change and how we're kind of conditioned to believe that people have all the power to make a difference in the world instead of holding big manufacturers and companies accountable. So it's important to not close your mind so quickly to one truth and look at it with an open mind and challenge what you already know to be true. In conclusion, I would say that the main things I learned from this course are more so life lessons. They're lessons I will always remember because they made a bigger impact on me as a person, opposed to just learning new facts. So I'm glad to leave this semester with a more open and enlightened mind.